Hello everybody, I am going to be creating a card for you. I am creating this card for the Altenew April Inspiration Challenge. I'm using some Strathmore watercolor paper and the Peony stamp set from Altenew, and I'm using the travel stamp platform from Tim Holtz. It measures 6.5 by 6.5 if anybody was wondering the difference between the regular size and the travel size. So that's the difference, is just the size. Everything else is the same, all the same, how it works and everything like that. I'm using VersaMark ink and I stamped the flower twice. This way I know that the image is going to be nice and sticky when I add the embossing powder. And then I also use super fine embossing powder from Ranger. I love it, especially for these really fine detailed flowers. And you could see I'm using my Ranger heat tool that I just got. And I will have to say that I am not the hugest fan of. I think my old one that I've had for 10 years or so works a lot better, and it heats up faster, it melts faster, and I'm just super impatient. So I think I might switch back. We'll see if I get used to it. But I'm using the Arteza Real Brush pens today, and what I do is I put a little bit of the color onto the watercolor paper, and then I'll bring the water to the color, if that makes sense. I use these the same as I do my zigs. I like them the same as my zigs. They tend to dry a little bit faster, I think, than my zig markers, but I do like them and I like the colors. So I just thought I'd use them today instead of my zig markers. And if you are interested, just a little side note, I have a 10% off Arteza for the Arteza website linked down below. So if you want to check out all of their products, be sure to go on over there, and the link is in the description below. So here I go again. I'm doing this in a few different places, and I add the color, and then I'll use the watercolor brush to bring the water to the color, and then that way it bleeds out into where I put the water. The color will bleed out into where I put the water. I hope this is making sense. I have more in-depth videos on how I use these types of markers or pens, and I will have a card up here with a video showing you how I use the zig markers, which are, like I said, are basically the same thing. But I love these purple colors, and there is no names to the colors, and there's no numbers to them either. So that's the only downfall with using these markers, is that you can't tell, somebody, oh yeah, I'm using, B429 or something. But I'm just using colors, the purple color family, if that helps any. But I am just going to continue to color these, and I will be back shortly. I'm taking this wood veneer piece from Altenew and I'm using some VersaMark ink, and I'm actually going to be using some white embossing powder. I love using white embossing powder on these wood veneer pieces and using them and just kind of as a texture element and not so much as like a focal point or anything. So I like keeping it white or a neutral color. And I'm taking this stamp. It is from Altenew. I do forget the name right now, but I will have all of the supplies listed down below, so be sure to check it out if you're wondering what stamp that is. It is one of my favorites, and I did have to use the bigger stamp platform when stamping it out, and I just used some VersaMark ink and white embossing powder, heat set that. Now I'm adding some, just like a faint light coat of Seedless preserves in Distress Oxide ink, just what I was on the blending tool, just to give a little bit of interest to the background. And then I add some foam to that panel, and then I'm going to adhere it to my card base, and it's just slightly smaller than my card base. And then now I'm just going to build up my flowers, and the flowers do look a little bit brighter, like more like a neon pink on camera for some reason and in the photos, but in person it is definitely more of a muted purple color. So it's funny how it picks up on camera. But anyway, so I am adding some of the smaller ones behind the wood veneer piece, and then I'll add the bigger ones on top of the wood veneer piece, and just kind of creating a cluster of the flowers. And I really wanted the flowers to be the focal point, and I wanted just the wood veneer piece just to be more of like a texture and just a little bit more interest for the card. And I did add some embroidery or upholstery thread underneath the last little flower. I didn't show that on camera, but I did do that. And then I covered up, for the most part, my flowers, and then I added some splatters in Picket Fence Distress Spray stain. And now I'm adding some enamel dots. These are from Altenew as well. And now I'm just going to stamp out my sentiment. And what I'm doing here is I added a coat of VersaMark ink. This way the color will go on a little bit more smooth and I don't have to stamp it twice. I didn't want to bring over my stamp platform. I just wanted to do it one time, so it works really well. I do this often actually with a lot of different inks, just to ensure that I get a nice crisp image. And I just add that to my card, and that is going to complete the card. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and be sure to check out my website for more details. And here is a couple more videos you might enjoy. Leave me a comment down below, and I hope you subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.